Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Thank you, Chair Lawrence, for this putting this together. Um, and the our big chief, Lucky, and the registry operator, Barak. Thank you for the good sessions. And Barak, you equally mentioned part of the survey that has been done that over across Africa, we have 500 million users on the internet. And earlier on, Mr. Lucky had equally itemized some of those things that equally helped South Africa in their domain growth. My question is, if we have all these 500 million users, how is it possible for us for this to equally increase the number of domains counts across Africa? Because apart from South Africa, it's only that's the only let's say country that have equally crossed the 1 million mark. All the rest CCTLDs are equally uh, coming up. And how possible can we get all these users to equally adopt this and increase the domain count? And I also want to ask Barak, how many of our CCTLDs operators in Africa will equally have their system automated? Because you did equally mention that in some of the comments you made, and majorly most of the CCTLD operators equally operate the 3R model, and we see in some instances where the fourth R comes in play, where we have resellers. Thank you.
So, Barak, I'm sure you might want to tackle those questions.
Yeah,
Did you get? Yes.
yes, thank you very much for those questions. I have just shared on the chat the link to Internet World stats that I was speaking to. But back to the question that you have asked. Um, First and foremost, when I started, the initial comments that I made, I alluded to the fact that the entry of the internet into the African continent specifically came in late in the day. And I indicated that to the best of my knowledge, the history that I have studied of internet in Africa, most of the pioneer countries started embracing the internet in 1992, meaning that most countries, I would take Kenya as an example. We earlier on in this year celebrated the 25th anniversary of the internet in the country. I don't know whether Nigeria has already celebrated its 30th anniversary or earlier, but I likened the internet growth and penetration on the African continent to the growth of uh, a young person or a youthful person. We came out of teenagehood and we are in our youthful stage. And in the youthful stage, I alluded to the fact that we are at a place where most of our countries we are trying to understand ourselves. To answer the issue of automation, I indicated the fact that from the desk research that we have done at AFTLD and the capacity building programs that we have been doing for the last 8 years, at 95% of registries on the African continent now have an automated registry system. It is worth noting that right now, the registry systems that we have, and I will give special mention to our registry system like COCA or FRED, which are commonly used on the African continent. It's an almost do-it-yourself system, almost similar to installing Windows on a PC. So the glass ceiling of managing a registry has been broken. It's not like back in the day when it used to be something for techies or something for geeks, and which explains the reason why so many registries in the African continent were actually run as departments within universities, because it was a research issue. Right now, it is being looked at as a business, and as such, you find that the registry software has evolved to be so simplified, such that you really don't need to have hard engineering skills or hard software skills for you to be able to install this registry software and operate it. And that is the reason why we have seen that 95% of the CCTLDs are actually automated. As a matter of fact, we've had a radical shift in our training programs at AFTLD, whereas previously we focused on technical training. Right now we are focused on marketing and the business side, because the biggest question that is coming to the fore right now is sustainability of the country top-level domain registries. We have witnessed scenarios or cases where regulators, again, which have become more and more interested in functions of country code top-level domain registries, have taken over the management of the country code top-level domain registries, because probably they feel that the operators are not managing them sustainably. So it brings us back to the question that Lawrence asked, whether there is money in this. The question is yes, there is money. But as with any other thing, money requires effort, or money requires input. And so I think I have tackled the question or the issue of automation. You raise a very important question on why the growth, to the way I understood it, why the growth of country code top-level domain registries in the African continent has been limited. I will give two answers to this. One, I will come back to the analogy of the youth. I would say that quite a number of countries are still in a discovery phase, but there are those countries that have discovered themselves. Case in point, I would look at a country such as South Africa, which has sort of discovered how to make the most of this business model. I would also look at a country like Nigeria. Despite maybe the challenges that you are facing, you are way ahead, heading towards the 200,000 mark. I'm looking at a country like Kenya. I'm looking at a country like Morocco. Of course, there are other countries in Africa that are giving out domain names for free, and that presents a different case that I will not speak to at this particular time. But the point I want to make is I want to look at the domain name ecosystem, whether speaking about the country code top-level domain, which I represent, whose constituency I represent, or generic top-level domains. I would like to look at it in light. I would like to look at it in light of the mobile phone ecosystem that we are used to. The mobile phone industry sells numbers. The domain name ecosystem sells names. It is the same coin, two different sides. So just the way MTN has penetrated in Nigeria is the same way I believe NIRA should be able to penetrate in Nigeria. But we need to interrogate the factors that made MTN penetrate. Part of this, of course, is funding. If you look at most of our mobile telcos, they have benefited from significant funding from international partners or stakeholders. As a matter of fact, in most of our countries, for you to get a mobile phone license, you need to part with $25 million at the very least to get a license. And for the domain name industry, it is free. Bob reminds me that even in Freetown, bananas are not free. But here we are. We want to use the freemium model when it comes to the naming industry. Yet the numbering industry has demonstrated that it can be profitable. We are discussing two sides of the same coin. I will leave it at that.